Hello, one and all. Welcome back to the Late to the Party podcast, or as I kept saying at the event, Late to the Potty. That's a podcast about IBS, but I digress. I want to make this short because it's an extended chat that I have today, and I just, it's been a while. It's been a while for me to publish because I've been tired, and the event has been done. It was just an incredible success. It was amazing. But now the audio, I've been trying to publish this, has got all these little errors, and it's taking me forever to fix. So I thought, I'm just going to have to put that on to the side and focus on another interview that I did that doesn't have those issues. So that's what we're doing today. And as is my wont, I got straight into the chats without actually introducing Lucy at all. So we're going to have Lucy do the introductions for us. So let's not waste any more time. Let's just get on with the chat. I'm still recording. So, that's right. I want to put this at the start. Yeah. I think it's hilarious because, Eloise literally just said, said something quickly about, this person wants to come on and whatever.
Yeah.
And I kind of just went yes and then completely forgot about it and started building up this story in my head like, you are Eloise's friend, but no, you're not Eloise's friend. You're Eloise's friend's sister.
Yes.
And, but none of that mattered.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I was like, I sort of said it as a joke. I was like, if he wants a uni age student on, I'm happy to talk. I love talking about autism. And you were like, yeah. And I was like,
yeah,
excellent.
Yeah.
It was a very autistic exchange, I reckon.
I think it was. So I thought that was funny. Like literally walking in, and you were lucky I even remembered your name.
Yes.
Because it was on the phone.
Yeah.
At least I put that down. That's an important thing for me to do. Put actual names.
Yeah.
Not just leave the numbers there.
No. Yeah.
And because it's a Beatles song.
Yes.
As well.
Yeah.
That makes it so much easier.
Yeah.
Is that why you were named Lucy at all? Or?
No. They just.
No.
Like, yeah. I know. Yeah.
All right.
Oh.
Who are you?
I'm Lucy. I'm I'll just say friend of the podcast, I guess. I was diagnosed at age 14 with autism. I very much like history. That's like my special interest. Mm-hmm. And I guess my purpose for being here today is to just chat about being autistic and being like a young autistic person in the world right now.
And now as a young adult.
Yes,
well,
now as
coming into
the transition from like childhood to adulthood, but also being autistic.
Yep.
Yeah.
And that won't change. It's going to keep going.
Oh, yeah.
Like, I think it gets about 36, I reckon. A lot of people, and I'm only thinking from a music perspective, because that's all I do, but it's also true of everything else. People stop at a certain point and go, that's the music I love. It was in my 20s and that's it. But it says something more as well about I give up learning now.
Yeah.
I'm done. Who I am is who I am. And I've never been able to understand that.
I hate that so much.
Yeah. Well, that's good.
Yeah.
So you'll be fine.
Yeah.
You just, I wanted to start by asking some cool history thing, because you said you're into history. I want to hear something that, at the moment that you're, like
into?
Hyper-focused on or into. Yeah.
Okay. So in my archaeology class in uni,
Oh.
We had to, lead a class, like a class discussion, and we have to have an activity. So my thing that I had to do was, it was ancient Assyria, and there was one king who had an inscription about like taking over like a place in Judah.
Yep.
And then there was the account from the Bible.
Yes.
And it was so different. So I made the class like do a like act as their PR people,
right.
As in like, so the inscriptions were so different, and you couldn't tell who was right or wrong. So I had to be, so my thought was, okay, I'm going to bring this into the modern context and then like make everyone act as though like this is a huge controversy and you've got to give a public statement and you've got to like make the other person look as terrible as possible.
So you're talking about in the Bible, you're talking about scripture in the Bible, like actually the writings that they sourced for that, and there's another source somewhere else relating to this particular king.
Yes,
What's the king's name?
Sennacherib.
Welcome to the Late to the Party History Channel. Sennacherib, the king of Assyria, from 705 to 681 BC, is a significant figure in the Bible, particularly in 2 Kings, 2 Chronicles and Isaiah. Best known for his military campaign against Judah during King Hezekiah's reign, where he captured fortified cities but failed to take Jerusalem. So the biblical account describes him in a negative way, arrogant, his threats against Hezekiah, but then there was some divine intervention and an angel struck down 185,000 Assyrian soldiers overnight. That's nice, forcing Sennacherib to retreat. So anyway, later he was assassinated by his own sons, and it's sort of seen nowadays as a demonstration of God's power and protection over his people. But there's also a famous poem from 1815 by Lord Byron. The Assyrian came down like the wolf on the fold, and his cohorts were gleaming in purple and gold, and the sheen of their spears was like stars on the sea, when the blue waves roll nightly on deep Galilee. That's a stanza from The Destruction of Sennacherib.
And he took over a kingdom in Judah and blocked all the anything from coming in and made it really hard for the king there, Hezekiah, to manage anything.
I know that name.
Yes, but he couldn't do anything.
That's so cool. So I did a little bit of biblical study.
Yeah.
Back when I was sort of became atheist and got obsessed with.
Oh yeah. There's a pipeline between autism and atheism if you grow up Catholic, I reckon. There's the amount of autistic people that I know because I went to a Catholic school. Yeah. All of them atheists or just don't believe in it.
Yeah, Catholics do a really good job of turning people into atheists, I think.
It's great conversion.
But they're better than even public schools in that they actually usually give a good broader view of religion. Yeah. Even though they say, well, this is the real one, but they do give a better sort of more religious education overall. Yeah. But so the original scriptures, what languages were they in?
Oh my God. One was in cuneiform, which is it's their own writing system. I can't really remember. And then the Bible's it was translated
from Greek or.
Oh my God, Sumerian. I want to say.
Oh wow,
I can't remember.
Ancient, yeah, okay,
yeah.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, we did a podcast. I did one years ago about. There was me who was sort of an old hippie. I did spiritual stuff and I went through the whole gamut of Christianity and Eastern religion and whatever. And then I had a friend of mine who I used to look after. I was his carer, who's a psychologist. And then the other guy was previously full on religious, really full on. And then he studied the Bible, became atheist, and loved it. He still studies the Bible.
Yeah.
He just loved it. And so we discuss historicity and the various methods of how they come about learning these things. So it's not about the spiritual side. It was more about the
I think people forget that the Bible is a huge historical text. It's it's accounting for a lot of time. Regardless of if you believe it or not. There's some truth to what actually happened.
That's been the problem. I think a lot of people who cling on to the religion are say, well, that's true. That king's a real king.
Yeah, so the rest of
there's some other tests. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So therefore, no.
No, there's nuance.
Yeah. Well, when did you start getting into just this sort of interest?
I've always been interested in history because I think before I was even diagnosed with autism, I really, really liked knowing how like the story of how people came to be. And I think history is just like the biggest story of how people came to be. Like I really liked hearing background stories on people that I liked, or just like getting to know people that way. And I really, really liked Horrible Histories, like any other autistic kid.
Yes.
Loved it.
That's a great one.
Yeah, and I was able to like articulate all the stories really well, which was interesting at a young age. Like I remember I had like one of my pop's friends was living with us, and I recounted a story about like a king who like got diarrhea or something like that. And he was so impressed that he got me the 5th DVD, and I was like, well, this is what I want to do, I guess. Like if I can like continue a story or like I think that's what I'm interested in. Like that's why I'm interested in history.
But it's interesting because we part of history and part of learning about history is often told just by talking to other people, by telling stories.
Yeah.
Before there was text, before we could write,
Yeah.
we've been telling stories, and there's there's Dreamtime stories, and all of these different cultures have this. But telling stories is like really important, and so it's interesting because you can be like an historian and look at the facts and delve into that, but being able to convey those stories is a very different kind of skill.
Yeah, and because I think if you just solely rely on like written text or that sort of thing, it's always written by, like, in most cases, written by the victor of whatever happened. True. And it's like, if you actually listen to people, you'll get a personal experience as well as like I guess as an example, like Indigenous people, like if you just go by the facts of what Western people have written, you will not get the full story. But if you listen to them, you get like a pretty cool story, I guess.
Do you listen to Blind Boy?
No.
Oh my God, you were just gonna blow your mind.
I'm gonna write that down.
I talk about Blind Boy all the bloody time, and it's so annoying. I did my event, the live podcast.
Yeah.
And the next night I was supposed to be going to see a live podcast in St Kilda of Blind Boy, who's just the greatest. He's just the best podcaster, and he's autistic, late diagnosed as well. But our cast got stuffed, and I couldn't drive, and so I completely missed it. But I'll hear it anyway. But he talks about this sort of stuff where he talks about history, but also I'm trying to think of the word, like not fables, sort of stories that come from different cultures that tell stories of kings or
like
foxes or myths. That's what I was trying to say. He's starting to correlate and read these myths with modern science, and particularly looking at nature, things that would have mattered back then, and now today. So, ecology, all that sorts of things, and he's finding all these amazing links with stories that were told back then, that were warning you perhaps not to kill a fox, and then us annoying whiteys or whatever came along, screwed up the ecology, killed all the foxes, and stuffed up the environment. And all of a sudden, when the foxes go, there was a plague of rabbits, that kind of stuff. You know? So what he's saying is that was the early science. These stories were the early science. They were warnings to say, don't do that because this is what's going to happen. Yeah. But it was told as a story.
And I think the one thing I really, really like about, especially like a lot of Australian Indigenous communities, it's like the information feels accessible to everyone. It's not like you have to be like a scientist to know, don't do this, or like, if you, like, it's just accessible to everyone, which I think it's very underrated.
It's underrated, and it's underrepresented in schools. Yes. My take is we should be learning the language. Yeah. One of the languages, depending where we are, and we should be learning about the stories, how they looked after the land. All those things are just missed, and that's why people are voting no on these sort of referendums, I think, because they don't get to appreciate.
They don't know, but also they a lot of the time don't want to know. It's like, I think, how could you not be interested in like one of the oldest civilizations? Like, you're on the land of people who have been here for so long and have maintained it for so long, and we only got here like a couple hundred years ago, and we've completely like destroyed it. It's like, we should be looking to them to,
And we can,
you
but
know.
I think the part of that is that we don't like being wrong.
No, absolutely not.
There's an element of either feeling guilt or being told you should be guilty.
Yeah.
Which I think's just it is what it is. But it's also about making it cool, making it interesting and cool for people. Like Horrible Histories, I think did that.
Yeah.
We need to. I think we need to make liking this culture and understanding its culture cool.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? By really interesting stories and that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
I think that's how we can change people's minds, by making it interesting and cool.
Yeah.
And okay, and it's hip to like it was hip once we did the whole bloody same-sex referendum. It was hip at that stage.
Yeah.
To be okay with that, you know, there was no bad feelings, there was no anger, and that's why it worked. You know, we just got to do the same thing. And man, I got angry.
Yeah.
I was so angry, and I spent too much time arguing with people online and.
About the referendum.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that was the first thing I've ever voted in. And I was so excited because I was like, oh, this could actually like lead to something. But I was like, nope. No.
No, that it was just people are so stubborn because, I just think they feel guilty and feel, why should I feel guilty? And all these other negative feelings. God, it pisses me off.
Yeah.
Oh. Now, I want to go back and I want to talk about more history, but I thought with this other stuff that you mentioned, you sent me on the phone.
Yeah.
One, I just had to tell you because I thought it was funny.
Yes.
One of the things I wrote down without, I just quickly wrote it down.
Yep.
The last one was advice, and this is how I wrote it.
Yep.
Advice for parents of autistic people who are entering childhood.
Did I write that?
No, you didn't.
Oh, I was like, no, I meant adulthood.
Who are entering childhood. I thought that's a really interesting concept.
No, I'm not quite.
People are entering childhood. No, it's adulthood.
Yes. Yeah.
I'm obviously a parent.
Yeah.
I did not get diagnosed until after the kids were born.
Yes.
And so I sort of denied it myself. I just, I do my little checks and reads, and I just thought, no, I can't be. But I was, I was masking my whole life.
Oh yeah, you. There's no. I feel like also your perception of yourself is so different from how you actually present to other people. Like I would say before I was diagnosed, I was like, oh yeah, I don't think I'm like. I think I can hold a conversation pretty well, but I didn't know that I spoke in monotone a lot and couldn't make eye contact.
Interesting.
Yeah. So my perception was like, I'm like nailing this. No.
Right.
No, I was not.
Oh, so it'd be interesting if like did you try to record yourself and see what it sounded like?
I didn't, but I remember doing speech therapy for the first time.
Okay.
So it was suggested to me and I was like, well, I don't have a stutter. Like I don't need to go. And then my speech therapist was like, did you know you have to like go up and go down and inflect? And I was like, oh my God, why did no one tell me this? Like I needed to know.
Do you feel like you have to?
No, I don't feel like I have to. I just didn't know that you had like people like.
That's you weren't picking that up.
Yeah.
It's interesting because I think maybe I learnt that stuff really early.
Yeah.
I've got old cassette tapes of me as a little kid.
Yeah.
And they kept throwing me in front of a recorder.
Okay.
And I'd just sit there telling stories.
Yeah.
So I think I taught myself that stuff by listening to, other stories because I used to love listening to stories on vinyl.
Yes.
Like I've still got all these ones, like these old like Bambi and that sort of stuff.
Oh yeah.
And I think I learnt that myself.
Yeah.
How to do all that stuff. And my mum's a singer, my dad was a singer. So there was all that sort of stuff. Maybe my obsession with music.
Yeah, that probably would have helped. My parents are tone deaf, so like,
okay.
They wouldn't have helped in any way, I don't think.
That's interesting. And so bass comes into it, like when did you start getting into that?
I started in year 9 or 10.
Okay.
And it was in lockdown, so I basically taught myself and I was like, oh my God.
Wow.
Yeah.
What did your parents say? Did they like, were they like, why are you doing that? Or
they really like music. They're just like bad at it.
They're just bad at it.
They just got no
right,
rhythm.
Yeah.
Like they're really, really enthusiastic about it. It's just that they don't have the skills to do it. But I did like dancing when I was younger, so I have a really, really good internal rhythm.
Okay.
So I could do it like fine.
And bass is rhythmic.
Yes,
as well. So,
yeah.
but who are the bassists you know and like?
I like Tina Weymouth from the Talking Heads.
Oh wow!
Just because her stuff's like, it's simple, but it makes sense where it is.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. And I like Jaco Pastorius because he just does whatever
Yep.
he wants.
Yep.
And I'm like,
Yep.
that's cool.
I'm trying to think of Stanley Clarke is an amazing, closer to the jazz side of things, but not really. It's kind of in the 80s there was this adult contemporary jazz sort of vibe going on, which people liked, and he played 6-string bass.
Oh,
but he was amazing.
Yeah.
I'm hoping I've got the right name. I think I do.
Yeah.
But for a while there, I started getting into like bass players.
Yeah.
And that sort of stuff. But see, I love Kim Deals and
Yes.
you know, that sort of the Pixies.
Yeah, I love Pixies, yeah.
And who was the other one? I think for me, my favourite bass player has got to be Paul McCartney.
Yes.
Because of the way he picks the notes.
Yes, he does, because he does like a muted.
Yeah.
Like, I think the way he plays it is very fun.
Oh my God. Have you know the song I Will? You know how much I love you.
Yeah.
Do you know, have you listened to that and know what's going on? There's a bass line.
I have to listen to it again to pick up I haven't heard it in ages.
There's a bass line, but it's not a bass. It's him singing the bass.
Oh, interesting.
Line.
That's like Seven Nation Army. It's not played on a bass, it's played on a guitar, but it's just like tuned down. I'm like, we need to talk about this,
it's
guys.
so cool. Isn't it amazing?
Yeah.
We'll play it afterwards so you can hear, because it's just hearing those notes. So do you find that you isolate bass when you listen to stuff?
Yeah, and I feel like once I started noticing it, it feels like weird to not have it in. Like if you take a bass out of a song, like a lot of people won't notice it's there. And then when you take it out, it's like, oh, this feels gross. So like it feels naked. So,
it does, yeah. It's a really important, and that relationship between the drummer and the. Have you had a chance to do that? Because obviously you didn't get to.
No, I didn't. I was in. Oh my God, I didn't know how to do anything. And then a teacher was like, oh, you should do this like workshop at Box Hill. And I was like, okay. And I went in, I didn't know how to do anything, but I made 2 songs with people and I was like, okay.
Oh, is it the TAFE?
Yes, yeah.
Oh, that's why I wanted to go myself.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's awesome. How did you find doing the collaborations and stuff?
Yeah, it was good. It was just like, I'd only been playing 9 months.
Okay.
Which is insane for me to think about.
Yeah.
Like, even now, I probably wouldn't have, like, put myself out there to do it. But I'm happy I did it because it's like, well, I've made 2 songs, so, like...
And did you write them, or
I wrote the bass lines, yeah.
You wrote the bass lines
we all,
wrote
it together. Yeah.
Oh, that's interesting, isn't it?
Yeah.
I don't know if I could ever do that.
Like, no, it's terrifying. But I was, like, 15, and I was like... Okay, that looks okay.
Oh, I say I don't know if I could do that mainly because I want to control.
Oh, sure, yeah. Yeah.
But I've done little bandy things, but it was before my diagnosis, it was before COVID. And, but yeah, I've always struggled in a group sort of situation. I think you'd have to find exactly the right people. It's hard to find musicians, I think, who aren't autistic, who will put everything into it.
Yes.
You know?
Yeah.
And so that's what I found difficult, getting people to say, well, you didn't practice. And,
that's like David Byrne, he's autistic, and apparently he was so hard to work with because he had to control every little bit of it. Yeah. But I'm like, fair enough, man.
Yeah.
He did some good stuff.
Have you read his book?
No.
I've got his book somewhere, I think.
I
was given his book. I have to, I keep getting... All these books I forget to read.
Yeah.
I've got a lot of history books, by the way. I don't know if you've noticed.
Yes, I have, actually.
Yeah, I've got some good ones.
Yeah.
What's the ones... There's some really popular ones. One of my favourite guys is... Where is he? Hang on a second. No, not Sam Harris. Where the hell are they? Jared Diamond. I love Jared Diamond.
Okay.
Collapse and Guns and... I can't read properly with these... Germs, Guns and Steel. Yeah. Jared Diamond's awesome.
Yes, no, I've heard about that one. Yeah.
And is it called The Third Chimpanzee?
The
green one?
Yes, yeah.
That's an amazing read as well.
Yeah.
Do you get into the history of people, of humanity, and you know.
Yeah, I did biology, I did the year ahead of me's biology, so I was in year 11 when I was doing year 12 biology.
Yeah.
And I did evolution and all that, and I was like,
Oh, you did?
that
Okay,
is
yeah.
so interesting. It's just, it baffles me how much change there has been and how quick it is now. Like, how much we've evolved now compared to, it was really, really slow over a long period of time.
Okay, so you're talking about, genetic drifts and that sort of stuff, is it? And that would have been because of things like, weather, the climate, and I suppose more interactions maybe, or anything that's causing...
change.
Yeah, change. Yeah. It's interesting. I hadn't really thought about that.
It took so long, and then when we got it right with, technologically and culturally, we've gone like that.
The lactose thing is what gets me.
Yes, no one wants to talk about the lactose thing.
How am I lactose intolerant for one, and how did we deal with lactose so quickly?
Yes, I
can't get my head around it. I know there's another one of the other guys other than oh God, come on, the great.
Charles Darwin.
Darwin. Okay. Planck. Also, what's the other guy? There was another guy around at the same time who sort of came up with a concept separately.
Okay, of natural selection.
Yeah.
Okay.
But he sort of was more like it was quicker. It was a quick, and it can be inherited. Like you can learn it at something.
Yeah.
And you can pass that on to your child. Which obviously isn't the case.
Yes.
Hi, future Dan here. So, okay, I was getting confused, and I was confusing all of us by my ramblings. What I was referring to is a French naturalist called Jean-Baptiste Lamarck. And Lamarckism is another sort of evolutionary theory that he posited that said organisms can inherit acquired traits and pass them on to their offspring. But I read Matt Ridley's Genome book. That's what turned me into an atheist.
Okay, yeah.
I wanted to understand the genetics when Eloise was still in utero.
Yes.
And so I started reading up on that stuff and went, oh, wow. And it just went off from there.
It's so interesting that, one mutation can, change everything.
Yeah.
There was one... I watched a video of, genes that we... they're still in our system, but they're not, active.
Yes, yeah.
And there was one that we could produce our own vitamin D. I'm like, oh, the amount of people that would benefit. All the people that don't get enough sun. It's why did our DNA just turn that off? That's annoying.
And it could have just been by accident.
Yeah, no,
it must have been.
Exactly. The chances of it. It's so fascinating how one little thing can change the whole course of history.
That's it.
Yeah.
I'd love it, and I've got to read it again because it's been so many years since I've read it. But the idea of some genes going on the right together, even though they're not necessarily related.
Yeah.
I think that's quite fascinating. Left-handedness is an interesting thing because my surname is Kerr, and in Scotland, Kerr-handed is that's a term for left-handedness.
Okay.
Because I thought all the Kerrs or most of the Kerrs were left-handed, but I've soon looked that up and no, it's not the case.
Okay.
It's because we fought left-handed, so they taught
interesting
to be left-handed.
Yeah, because a lot of people are taught to be right-handed.
Yes.
So it makes sense that way that it's the reverse.
Think of the advantage as a sword fighter, when that's what they were. The clan were hired guns to come in because how do you defend yourself against a bloody lefty? You don't know. Your brain's not wired or been trained
that's really
to handle
smart.
that. Yeah. I love all that stuff.
Yeah.
Have you done all your ancestry?
No, we've got some of it, and I don't know if you can tell by looking at me, English, Irish, Scottish. We did, and I've only just someone on my mum's side made a book of as much as they could get.
Oh wow!
And it was really interesting. They came from Ireland, And then
Okay.
I learnt about, like, I knew obviously we'd come over here as, like, convicts and stuff.
Yeah.
But then, like, we had the personal element of, like, a lot of the kids died on the way over. And I was like, I forgot that happened. Like,
Yeah.
it was really interesting. But, like, yeah, my dad's from New Zealand, but then his grandma is from England. So it's like,
Okay.
there's not much.
That's true.
going
There's a lot
on
of
here.
Scots in New Zealand as
Yes,
well.
yeah.
A lot of redheads over there.
Yeah,
It was
my
just-
cousin, yeah.
Couldn't believe it. What the hell's going on here?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, lots of Scots.
Yeah.
Oh, that's interesting. Well, that makes me wonder why you don't get into ancestry, because there's that element of the things you're into.
I would love to. It's just like I can't. I haven't done like the test or anything, and like the only stories I have is like
Yeah.
my pop living in Southern Cross, or like I did a project in year 12. We were like told to make a creative story, and I was like, great, I'm going to interview my pop, but he's like,
Yeah.
he just told me bullshit. Like it wasn't interesting. But it was funny though.
Oh, that's a shame.
Yeah.
I wrote a song about my grandmother, which after she passed away, because we discovered afterwards by a few videos I've got of them talking, and I don't know how I missed it, and it just baffles me. But she was going to be married to someone else,
Oh,
and he committed suicide the night before the wedding.
Jesus.
You know, and that's something obviously that was with her the rest of her life, and so I wrote these. I wrote this song about that. I'll have to show you the lyrics and stuff later, because it's just I love writing songs about, you know, people like other people, and if you're connected. And my great uncle, the last cur from my great grandfather, the last one he had, what is it? Like 14 kids. He had a lot of kids.
Jesus Christ.
He had a lot of kids. But this dude was a writer, a poet.
Yeah.
And he would connect with the local Aborigines in the area, which was closer to the South Australia, but it was still in Victoria. And it was so interesting because we talk about like interpretation. He would ask them some stories, and I've got notes. I've taken photos of all the books. So it was all at the State Library.
Oh wow. Okay.
His books of notes and his published poems and so forth. And he wrote little notes to the side. And he was talking about how it was sometimes hard to get any stories out of people, because they, you know, it's their stories.
Yeah.
And they don't necessarily want to hand them over. They've handed over
Absolutely.
the land without wanting to. But he did talk to them, and he wrote interpretations of those stories and because he was Christian, it had that element to it.
Yeah,
it's fascinating stuff. You know, we get all this information. So, do you care about trying to get the truth of the history? What's the context of why they were writing the way they wrote it, or are you more interested in finding an interpretation as to make some modern meaning from it?
I think it's interesting to. I like to see like why people wrote like that and what the context was about it. Like I read Huckleberry Finn, and if you read that in a modern context, it wouldn't work. Right?
I tried with Henry, and then all of a sudden
he was like, "Whoa!"
I said, "Mate, I think we'll."
But it's genuinely like if you put it in a historical context, it's like that's pretty big for someone in that era to write about like a black person that isn't like villainized, you know? But I see a lot of people being like, that book's racist. I'm like, no. If it happened now, sure. But even a book can't be racist. It's like that's not how that works. It's like the ideas it's presenting, sure, that might be racist now. But back then, that would have been like the antithesis of what was happening, because it's like you're giving voice to an African American man rather than just like
Yeah, you're talking about the injustices and language of the time, but he also was very forward-thinking. He was humanistic.
That's pretty progressive for the time. Like, it's just stupid that we're writing it off now as like, we can't read it. And it's like, no, you can, but you just have to have that context.
And you should.
Yes.
Yeah, absolutely should.
That's
His letters, I think I've got a book of all these letters. His letters are amazing. Letters from the earth.
Yeah.
Highly recommended you read that. They're all these just various letters he had to people, and back then when you wrote letters, you know, it wasn't just a letter. It was oh my God, he's
Yeah.
amazing, back and forths, and he talks about things like religion and that sort of stuff, which are just so whoa. At the time, no one talked about that sort of stuff.
But I also think, like, even if he did believe in those stuff, I think it's still important to read things like that, because it's like that's genuinely how people thought.
Yes.
I think if we just don't read that stuff anymore, it's like we're getting rid of all that history, and it's bad history, but we've got to face like what happened. I think it's stupid to just, like, all the banning books in America, it's like, no, you're just erasing what happened and your responsibility in that.
Yep.
That's so dumb.
And they're repeating.
Yes.
Because they haven't got a good education system over there where they're learning history.
Yes.
They certainly don't learn history from any other country.
No.
But that's the problem. You're repeating history, and we're seeing it again at the moment of a lot of uneducated people, and I don't mean that in a bad way. It's just
they just don't
what it is.
have the access to it.
They just don't have it. So all of a sudden, we're going through the same shit all over again.
And it's like, oh, I wish there was a book about this. Yeah. Well, you ban them.
Yeah,
like, there's so many about that sort of thing.
There's I've been watching a lot of stuff about historians and historians who have a focus on finance or money and that sort of stuff as well, talking about the way things are happening at the moment. And that's the same thing with all that stuff.
Yeah.
You know, if you don't learn from when things haven't worked in the past, then
you're just going to repeat them.
Yeah. And it's driving everyone insane at the moment. We're dealing with such ignorance at the moment, but people don't like to be told they're wrong.
No.
You know, I've got a friend it was absolutely fascinating. Okay. It was actually from someone I'd interviewed before, and it was it's a paper on the way the neurodivergent people think, as opposed to neurotypical think. And it says, so a non-autistic person who belongs to a conservative political party may acknowledge that George Floyd's murder at the hands of an officer was a gross injustice, but refuse to acknowledge or even talk about the systemic racism that contributed to Floyd's death and other black people's deaths at the hands of police. That non-autistic person may actually have many values that counter the social norms of their political party, yet they rarely mention those values and will avoid looking at, talking about, or exploring how their political party contributes to anything that undermines their personal values.
Yes.
So I know, like, this friend of mine is a good person, but when I go through his feed, it's all about the Democrats and how bad they are.
Yeah.
But not once, for years has he ever said anything bad about what a Republican's done. And he's ignoring all the shit that's going down right now and still posting about Democrats. Why is this guy going over there to save this person who was wrongfully imprisoned? Look at his track record with one instance. You know
People's
what I mean?
lack of introspection is crazy to me.
It's a way that our brains are wired, though. Like it's understanding how we think, why we think, and I think that's a big thing as well.
Yes.
You know, I love doing that sort of stuff. That there's getting into like the brain science and that sort of stuff. But who's got time?
Yeah.
I think the ancestry stuff's the same thing. I was going to say, like, I was going to warn you not to do it.
Yeah.
Until you've got time. Don't start doing that.
Oh, yeah, because I will fall down that rabbit hole.
Yeah, it's not a good thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you're studying still at the moment?
Yes, I'm in my second year.
A second year. So is that a 4-year or?
3.
3.
Yeah.
Okay. So what do you get at that?
I get a Bachelor of Arts, and I'm majoring in ancient history and archaeology.
Okay.
And then minoring in just history.
History.
Yeah.
And what do you want to do with all that?
I want to, like, work at a museum, like, in curation, or I want to do, like, I'm really interested in, like, a who do you think you are type job, where I, like, help people find their stories and, you know, like, collate all that information for that.
Me too.
Yeah, yeah.
I
think that'd be really cool.
I'd love to do that.
Yeah.
But doing this sort of helps in that respect a little bit.
Yeah.
But I just think to be able to capture people's stories and stuff, it's pretty cool.
Yeah.
You know, you maybe should do some media stuff then too. As far as, like,
I mean, I've started now, I guess. Yeah. Yeah.
It would be good if you want to get into that, because then you'd have to like, oh yeah, shit. Or even the recording stuff you're doing.
Yeah.
If you keep that up, there's another element.
Yeah.
To playing bass where you'll learn recording techniques and stuff.
Yeah.
So don't stop doing that.
Yes.
Keep it up. It's really good.
Yeah.
You know. Now, we had actual questions here, or points, which I purposefully just wanted to talk about history.
Hey, me too, man. That's okay.
But you were talking about like from that transition.
Yeah.
So when did you actually get diagnosed again? What was it?
I was 14.
14.
Yeah.
So that was late for, or was it the first time that anyone brought anything up?
Well, it was really interesting because I sort of had felt there was something wrong, but I didn't have a word for it.
Right.
And there were other kids in my primary school that had autism, and I'm like, well, I'm not like them.
Yeah.
So obviously that's not like something within, that couldn't be a possibility.
Okay.
And then someone's mum, like my mate told me, as kids do, like something their mum has said when that they're not supposed to.
Oh,
and then
what about you?
Yes. But to be fair, her mum like is a carer.
Yeah.
And she goes, oh, my mum thinks you're autistic. And I was like, what?
Awesome.
And then I went home to mum and I was like, hey, so-and-so's mum thinks I'm autistic. And she's like, yeah, no, I think you are too. I'm like, when were you going to tell me this? When were you going to tell me this? So we went through the process of getting diagnosed, and obviously I am, but I was like, being autistic for 14 years and not knowing is crazy. I know, like, 47 years of not knowing, that's insane to me. That's insane.
Yeah, it's debilitating. Like, it's...
If you don't, it's like you've got a broken leg and you like try to run around with everyone, and it's like, but no, you don't know you've got a broken leg.
And it's healed badly because it hasn't been treated properly.
Exactly.
Yeah. And it's like, well, that's it. It's like it is what it is. Like
and you think everyone else is, you think everyone else is struggling that much.
Yeah. Well, that's it. There's a lot of people that I talk to who are just coming up with these amazing insights into their life when in like 1,000 years ago we'd be dead.
Oh yeah.
By this stage, we'd already be dead, and now we're suddenly getting to a whole second life of understanding.
Yeah, absolutely.
I find that so hilarious to think.
I think about that all the time. I try to go back as far as I can and go, would I survive then? Would I survive then? I cannot go very far back at all.
Like Ellie, like Last of Us, would you like Eloise talks about this, would you survive? Yeah, she'd just say, eat me, just kill me.
I had such bad lung issues as a kid. I'd be like, oh,
that's true.
I would not have survived.
Yeah, I had asthma bad.
Yeah, I had asthma.
I would have been screwed.
Yeah, we would not have lasted long.
Wow.
Yeah.
I'm obsessed with post-apocalyptic stuff.
Oh, same.
Around the same age of 14 or something, I started having like recurring dreams of being the last person in Melbourne and that sort of stuff. And then I've got all these post-apocalyptic books, and so it's just like a golden age at the moment.
Yes.
For all this stuff. Oh my God, it's
so much fun.
And I love isolation, so I'd be okay now with that sort of thing, but I hadn't thought about that. If I was a kid,
that I would not have.
If I had to run, I would have been screwed. Okay. Oh my God. Anyway, so you got the diagnosis.
Yes.
Are you having ongoing support at all, or?
Yeah, I've been doing like therapy for 5 years, and then as well as that, I did speech therapy for like 2 years or 1 year, and then I did. Oh my God, I did occupational therapy for a bit, and that was to help with the transition from like child to adult, which was interesting. It was occupational therapy is a weird one because they can do whatever. Yeah, like seriously, that's like I learned how to do public transport. With this woman, but she. I think she hadn't worked with older people. I was like 17 at this point, and she would look at me like, and she would act like I'm a child. I'm like, girl, you don't need to be doing this. I'm 17. I'm not a child, but I think...
maybe just a script that they have.
Yeah, but the way she like spoke to me, I was like, oh, you don't see me as my age, do you? You see me as younger.
So it wasn't like you weren't thinking of as ableism, it was more just...
It felt like infantilization a little bit. Yeah. I know a lot of people do that, like when they find out you're autistic.
Yes!
And it's like,
I get that.
It's like, no, beforehand you were fine. Like, we were good.
Yeah, I get that. It's hilarious.
Being infantilized at, like, how old are you?
Yeah, like with workmates.
crazy.
Some workmates are like, they're just, they changed the way they spoke.
Yes.
And I find it hilarious. Also a little bit
It's
insulting.
embarrassing for them.
Yeah.
Because I'm
fine.
like...
Yeah. Like, it's so weird. But I'm amused. So,
yes, no, it's fun for me because it's just funny. What's like the worst reaction you've gotten to saying that you're autistic, or like the weirdest one?
Well, it's more the hilarious looks on their face, particularly with work, because I was working with people before the diagnosis and after, and it was more doubt.
Yeah,
They were like, but you're. I need to search for this word. I love words, but then I always want to make sure that I'm using the right word.
Yeah.
And in my head, I've come up with the word ebullient. Ebullient. Ebullient.
Okay, it is a word.
Cheerful and full of energy. I'm correct. Okay.
Yes.
So I know these words and
Yeah.
they just pop in my head. Yeah, I was. Cheerful, full of energy at work, and I do all that sort of stuff. And so they were just like,
no.
Obviously they have an idea of what autism is, but also... so they were completely doubting.
Yeah.
And one of my managers said, "You're the best actor I've ever seen."
Oh yeah.
And so I have to go through the process of saying, that's not me after I walk out the door.
Yeah.
It's very different.
You're just putting it on.
Yeah.
But yeah. I get like a lot of, you don't look autistic.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what do you mean by that?
Yeah.
I don't look like Sheldon Cooper.
Yeah, that's right.
Like, my haircut isn't helping. I've got a pixie cut, but like, dude.
I always think of what's a good one to say back? Or just could you say something like,
well, you don't look like an idiot.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, you don't look stupid.
Yeah.
But clearly, looks don't matter.
Yeah, or I get you're not that autistic. And I'm like, what are you basing this off? Like, sometimes I've just met someone and they'll be like, oh, you're not that autistic.
Yeah, yeah.
And I'm like, what are you basing?
Yeah.
Oh, because I can make eye contact with you. Yeah. I'm looking here.
And the talking and all that sort of stuff. It's like...
No. It's like a survival strategy almost. It's like, well, you wouldn't... I'm sure if I, like, took all that off, you wouldn't want to talk to me. Yeah. So...
It makes it difficult, I think, sometimes because of the categorisation of autism, or ADHD or ADHD as well. It's so broad. Yeah. People don't... And I think we need to stop using the word spectrum. Okay. Because and I can't remember the word that they're changing to. It's more like a circle.
Yes,
like a pie chart sort of thing, you know what I mean? So
that's what my mum uses to show people.
Exactly. Yeah, so higher up in this bit, lower bit, and that comes down to the testing you get done as well to show all that sort of stuff. And that's more useful to talk to people and say, well, what is the word?
It's like it's not a linear spectrum. It's
Future Dan here. It's called the Autism Spectrum Wheel or pie chart model.
I sort of say I have higher support needs in some areas and lower in some.
Exactly, and that's probably the easiest way to say it.
Yeah.
So
it's hard to describe though.
Yeah, and it obviously it's very confusing because we've got this insane asshole in America at the moment who I don't know if you've been seeing what he's been saying
about autistic people.
Yeah.
Oh, I have not, but I'm assuming it's horrible. It's
horrendous and so stupid.
Yeah.
And he's looking after the health of people, of Americans, So he's now going to see how they can go about curing it. And
sure. Okay.
He's an anti-vaxxer. I mean, what a great choice! What a fantastic choice of So I've made the person or the private Facebook page that people go on to. We're not going to talk about that. It's free. It's free of that discussion. We're not talking about that on there.
Because you just shouldn't have to like defend your own existence.
Yeah.
That is just stupid.
Yep. And I love using the word neurotype now.
Yeah.
Saying it literally is just a different brain type.
Yeah.
It's not you can't eat a food to get rid of a neurotype. It's not how it works. It's not how bodies work or brains work. It just doesn't work that way. The confusion would be, I think, is the which Matt really talked about, which is the nature via nurture. So it's not nature versus nurture, it's nature via. And so we can express certain things or be bad, or express good or bad things based on our surroundings and the people around us, and depression may not come out when it could in another situation. For some people, it just depends on their lives, which I find really
it's really really interesting how that works.
So you said you've still got ongoing sort of supports. Do you feel like are you able to go through that sort of internalized process of understanding yourself and continuing to grow with that understanding, or do you still think it's useful
the diagnosis?
to have?
Yeah, I mean, it completely changed my life because I just hated myself as a kid because I was like, I can't like be like everyone else, and there's no reason why I can't. But now that I have it, it's like, oh, well, that makes so much sense. Yeah. And you sort of look back like retrospectively and you're like, oh, that's why I lined up all my toys as a kid, or that's why I couldn't like play make believe with other kids. But I think therapy helps me, like right now I'm doing EMDR therapy, which is like trauma processing therapy.
Okay.
But it just helps me keep myself in check more so than like accepting myself, because I think I'm pretty cool right now. Yeah. So like, but it's also like, because I'm in a transitionary period from like child to adult, it's really helpful to have like a big support. Like I just need it. Like I don't think I could go without it. Yeah,
and our brains are still developing until like a mid-20s, I think it is, or something like that. It's so it's still ongoing process that you have to go through. That's interesting. Do you have any outward stimmings and things like that you're aware of, or?
I mean, I've got a fidget in my hand right now.
Yeah. Look at this.
Oh, a fidget ring.
A fidget ring?
Yeah.
It's amazing. I just literally got it like a week ago. It's fantastic. Oh my God.
What other stimming it's very different depending on who I'm around.
Okay.
Like, I realise I mask, like, it's not a conscious thing about masking. I think that's a huge misconception. A lot of people are like, well, do you not trust me? Like, do you want to unmask around me? It's like, that's not how that works. It's a survival instinct almost, like in your brain. It just switches on.
Okay.
But then when I'm at home, I'll just like, I like to jump around in my room, or like just say stupid stuff, or like repeat things in my head, or that sort of thing. Yep.
It's so funny because I asked that because, like, I'll be down here listening to some music, and when I get really drawn into the music, I didn't realise I did it. I only realised halfway through it. I was standing sort of back in the best spot for the sound to get to my ears, and I noticed I was like swaying and stuff. And I went, oh my God, I didn't realise I was doing that.
Yeah.
I had no idea I did that.
That's so funny. It's like, I've only I went to a couple concerts like in the past couple months that have been like moshing.
Oh yeah.
It's everyone's stimming.
That's
like,
right.
Like they just feel it and you jump around, and I didn't think I'd enjoy it because I don't really like being touched, but I really enjoyed it.
Thank Christ I was in the 90s.
Yeah.
Because I got through that era, and that's what we used to do. I mean, it would always be funny because usually the girls, a song would come on and they knew what was about to happen. They would run. And all these guys would just go smashing into each other. No. Big smiles and, pushing.
It's not like it's not like violent. It's just like a big explosion of just like... Yeah. I really enjoyed it. I thought I'd die, but my friend was like, before we went to a concert, she was like, okay, here's our plan if you get overstimulated. And then I was at the barricade and I was like, I was like headbanging. Wow. It was awesome.
Imagine what it was like for women back in the mid-60s.
Oh, yeah.
And from that point before, where they were not allowed to express themselves in any sort of outward way.
No.
And then all of a sudden, someone like the Beatles comes along.
Yeah.
And women the girls there were peeing themselves.
Yeah.
Because they lost control.
Yeah.
And
I think it's sort of like a bit stupid to say that it was all like, oh, they were lusting after them. I'm like, no, they were just like experiencing live music.
Exactly. And they were allowed at that moment to express.
Yes.
But because they hadn't, it was like a dam burst.
Yeah, it's like...
literally.
Yes, literally.
Figuratively and literally, It was like,
It's like my favourite era of fashion, the 1920s. Like, love the 20s fashion.
Yeah, me too. I think it's fantastic.
Yes, like the contrast between like the long hair of like the 1800s and then like bob.
Yes,
knees showing sometimes, crazy stuff. But like
beautiful fashions. And
I reckon
music.
they would have been autistic, to be honest. A lot of the flappers like doing whatever they want to do. Yeah, and just
that's true, isn't it?
Yeah, it's fun to think about who would have been autistic in history, because
I know
prior to what is it? Contrary to popular belief, it's not a modern thing. No. A lot of people are like, it's like, I had a driving instructor who was like, oh yeah, I remember when like ADHD was a huge thing in the 90s, and we were both like, but it was big then because it was being recognised, but it was always a thing.
Yeah, huge for who?
It was, I don't know, teachers.
Yeah, you know what I mean? It's
picking on people.
And there's all these other aspects of things we're not focused on at the time. Or even discovering a planet.
Yes.
Or
doesn't
star.
mean it's not there. Yeah.
Oh, that's just popped up. Typical.
Yeah.
All of a sudden, when they got to some good, not binoculars, bloody
telescopes.
Big telescopes.
Yeah.
All of a sudden, they started discovering all these planets and stars, and like, what the hell was going on then?
Yeah.
And out there, that all of a sudden they were just all appearing.
Yeah.
It's so stupid.
Yeah.
But it is very much the conversation that's happening right now.
Yeah.
I hope there's and I part of me is kind of okay with what's happening because it's just so funny to me.
Yeah, it's so funny.
It's so funny. And eventually it's going to dumb itself into death, you know, because it's just so stupid that it can't last.
Yeah. There's a lot of people... I saw something online the other day and I was pissing myself because it was like a comment from a grandparent of like, oh, well, these people are autistic now and it's a huge thing. Meanwhile, you're not allowed to touch any of their stuff and they've got a routine that's down pat. And it's You, what? You probably are.
Yes. And when you find friends, I don't know if you're finding that.
Yeah.
Like I found friends before that, and we're all...
Oh, yeah, you're drawn to them without knowing.
Yeah.
Yeah, my best friend growing up, she got diagnosed when she was like 9.
Okay.
And then I got diagnosed when I was 14, but I was like, we both kind of knew.
Yeah. I think, my friends I would fit into the category of a neurodivergence, not necessarily autistic or anything, but they're definitely, kooks.
Yes.
And think differently and that kind of thing, or just even the way they have their habits. Yeah. That sort of stuff are... we're comfortable around each other. Yeah. And it's not often the case with neurotypical people necessarily that you feel comfortable. You can't, can you?
I mean, I think, like, my best friend, she does everything she can and I love her so much. But like, I think if you have, like, sometimes it's just nice to be around autistic people because you have that mutual understanding. Yeah,
it's just easier, isn't it? It's weird.
Yeah.
That's why, like, if I know I'm going to be talking to someone who's, like, neurodivergent or whatever, I don't plan as much anymore.
No, I don't either.
There's just no point. I, don't have to do that. If I'm talking to someone who's got a particular skill set, then I think I need to, to do that. But otherwise, it's like, I don't have to worry about that. Yeah, it's going to be fine.
I didn't think about what I was going to say today until, like, driving over here, because I was like, I know I can just... yap to an autistic person. Yeah, that's it. Yeah, it's so easy.
And do you mull over it afterwards?
I used to, but then I was like, I actually don't care. And it's too much. Good. It's too much to think about.
I know, replaying and having...
Yeah. And if I did something wrong... Yeah. So, like... And if I haven't... Usually I reflect on it and, like... I'm pretty good at picking up if I'll text someone after, hey, did I say something wrong? But like, okay, yeah. But also like, tell me. A lot of the time I'll say, if you are uncomfortable or if I've said something you don't understand, tell me.
That's a really difficult thing for neurotypicals to do, though.
Yeah, because they just want to people please, and it's like, no, like you're helping me by doing this.
I people please. Yeah, I've done that as well. Yeah. But that sort of brutal honesty is not something that a lot of people want to take part in.
It's like so many people have said to me, oh, I like, especially with like dating and stuff, like I just love girls who are like forward and brutally honest. And then when you are, they're like, whoa, that's too much. It's like, no, you said that. Yeah, that's it. You said you like that.
Yeah. And I've dialed down. I'm only on 2 at the moment.
Yeah, I know.
Well, that's when you go, see ya.
Yeah, not
catch
for
you
me,
later.
thanks.
Nah. I'm not going to be your parent.
Yeah.
You know?
Exactly.
Not your mama.
Yeah.
Well, talking about parents, I'm going to have to put in my segue song there.
Yeah.
A crappy segue.
How have you dealt with your parents and continue to, and how do they deal with you?
Okay. My mum is like my biggest support system.
Right.
Like, I'll say, like, she's really, really in tune with me, and she's really good at, like, sometimes I'll get to a point where I can't talk, but
Right.
she knows what I mean.
Okay.
Yeah. So both my parents have been very supportive, and I think my diagnosis has sort of made my dad, he's autistic, let's be real.
I was about to say.
Yes.
Okay, so which one?
He is, yeah, no, exactly. You can ask that. It's 100% my dad. He
Yeah.
loves Dungeons and Dragons.
Yeah.
He wears very, like, simple, like, comfy clothing.
Yeah.
He's very, like, he'll get very hyperfixated on things. So he doesn't feel the need to get diagnosed, which is fine. Whatever, do what you want. But I think it's interesting how I think he's sort of had a lot of realizations since I've been diagnosed.
That's what happened to me too.
Yeah.
It's like, oh my God, yeah, I realise now at school stuff, any things you were struggling with, and
Yeah.
you think back, oh,
Yep.
that was me.
It feels like you've almost lived two different lives, which is kind of sad. I feel like in my case, it feels like I'm a different person.
Yes.
But I understand if people think like this is just how I see it myself me.
Yeah.
But I understand it's like a progression for other people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. Okay. So, yeah, that's the thing. I just obviously an ongoing struggle and like trying to make sense of. Is there someone is there somewhere or a personality that I'm working towards?
Yeah.
And that. Then I think, well, that's ridiculous because I'll be actually creating that.
Yes.
You know?
Yeah.
So I'm learning to sort of back off from that sort of thinking and just let it go where it's going without trying to lead it.
Yeah.
And that's So do you feel like you don't have to do that? You kind of
No, I just go with it, but
Yeah.
I just feel like the change was so big, and it just changed like how I saw things.
Yeah,
That's
okay.
sort of what I mean.
Yep.
Yeah.
So for a lot of people my age who go through this, when we're sometimes we're a little annoyed and jealous by that. Like it's like why do my kids get to
Oh, absolutely.
set up boundaries for what they can and can't do?
Yeah.
You know, I had to do all that stuff. You know, but on the other turn, where I talked about this with Tismo on I think it was the last episode. Some of those things are good skill sets to learn.
Yeah, I think a lot of kids should learn that
Yeah.
sort of thing.
Yeah, struggle is really important.
Yeah,
And-
yes.
Yeah. So do you feel that you should, or do you put yourself into situations or whatever that do put pressure on yourself and, not necessarily like, the obvious thing is going to social situations and talking to people and that sort of stuff. Small talk's really important skill to learn, I think.
Yes, yeah, I sort of, I do that. I think what I think is like challenging for me is going to be so different from what is like. I think challenging things are like calling someone on the phone. I really, really struggle with
Me
that.
too. I hate it.
But I can like go into a group and talk to them because I know how to like perform and put it on. Like
Right.
I
Yeah.
understand how to do that. But
Yeah.
I do definitely challenge myself, and I think as a kid I just sort of had to push myself through things because I didn't have really another choice, so I did have to learn things that way. But
Yep.
I've only just learnt about skill regression. Do you know about this?
No.
So basically,
Oh, sorry. Yeah, I think I do. I think we talked about this. Go on.
how interesting
Yeah,
is it?
yeah,
It's
yeah,
basically
yeah.
where you have to relearn
Yes,
things
yes.
because you learnt them initially when you were like in fight or flight. And I was like, that makes so much sense because I felt like, I think a lot of people have this when they're diagnosed. They feel like they're acting more autistic, but they're not.
Yes.
They're just relearning how to I'm not super great at staying in like crowds,
Yeah.
like being in social situations for like large amounts of times, but I could
Yeah.
when I was a kid.
Yes.
But that's also because I had to.
Had to, yeah. Yep.
And it's,
Yep.
I've only just learnt about that, and it's made so much more sense to me because I felt like I was playing it up, but I'm like, no, I'm having to relearn all this thing.
You're developing new neural pathways.
Yes.
Different ones.
Yes.
They may be sort of on the same sort of subject matter or whatever,
Yeah.
but it's a whole new context going on. There's whole new things going in your brain.
Yeah.
And you've got different connections now with
Yeah.
with that particular thing that you do, but now you're bringing in something
Yeah.
something else. So all of a sudden there's a whole new... when I picture the neural pathways, I picture those sort of like... Well, it's actually like The Last of Us that...
Yeah, the fungus stuff.
The fungusy
Yeah,
things
yeah,
that just
yeah.
like twirling around. It's
Yeah.
getting thicker and thicker and stronger, and the other stuff just sort of starts to disappear. But I think it also happens with things, for me, I'll get into something big time, like that sort of like going to the biblical studies or something like that, and I've lost it all now because I haven't been doing it.
Yeah.
And so I have to relearn things even I'm into.
Absolutely.
You know?
That's like with history. I was like, I kind of hope you wouldn't ask anything specific because, like, I really, really like World War II. Could I tell you like dates? No, I couldn't. I just like it. It's really
it's the vibe.
It's really embarrassing sometimes when people ask you, "Oh, what's your special interest?" I'm like, please don't, because like I just like it.
Yeah.
Like I don't know a lot about this right now.
And you don't need to. That's the point. We don't
Yeah.
need to now.
No.
We really don't need to
Yeah.
just lock in a whole lot of information.
Yeah.
Because we
It's
can just
unnecessary.
say, hey,
Yeah.
tell me about this.
Yeah.
And you're like, okay, I didn't need to remember that sort of stuff. I'll just find it easy.
Yes.
It's easily accessible now. Whereas for me, when I was a kid, we had Funk and Wagnalls,
Yeah.
books up
Yeah.
there. And that's where I'd have to go to find out information, or have to go off to the library and stuff. And it took forever.
Yeah.
You know, don't have to do that anymore.
Exactly.
That's why rote learning, all this shit going on at school, was pointless.
Yes. You
Absolutely
you just
pointless.
don't need it.
Even like learning coding and that sort of stuff, there's only so much you should be taking on, because it's going to change again.
Yeah.
You know, you should be learning how to source information, rather than taking it on.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's a really interesting way, but we're so slow with learning how to change
Yeah.
that sort of stuff. Do you learn differently to other people?
I'm a huge visual learner. I have to
Okay.
have, like, in biology, we'd talk about these, like, concepts. I'm like,
Right.
I need to see what that looks like.
Okay,
Like,
yeah.
I really, really struggled in chemistry. I did not pass chemistry
Yeah.
because I couldn't picture it.
No, I was terrible at it.
Yeah. So I learned like that. Yeah.
So the chemical, like so it's got like your 2 Zs and stuff like that. That's
Yes.
not enough, is it really?
No,
Or-
I need, like, I want to see it happening.
Okay.
Like, even if,
Right.
like, we're talking, like, molecules and stuff. I'm like,
Yeah, yeah.
well, I can't see it, so good luck teaching me it. Like,
True.
I can't.
I mean, there's videos now you can go on YouTube, and
Yeah.
there'll be some sort of visual thing you could if you had to.
Yeah.
But it's
It's just-
not easy.
Yeah, no,
it's not
it's
easy.
not.
Okay. Yeah. I was still trying to get my head around how I learn best.
Yeah.
I'm not sure. I'm really not sure, because I haven't had to study anything particularly.
Yeah.
You know?
I think a lot of people rely on that too much. It's like, just do it how you need to.
Yeah.
I
yeah.
really, really don't think if you categorize things too much, it doesn't allow for any, like, nuance or anything.
Yeah.
So it's like, do what you need to do. You don't need a category for that.
Yep.
Just learn how you need to learn. And I
Yeah.
think that's fine.
I don't know if I'm going to go back and study at all.
Fair enough. It's not fun.
It was never fun for me at all. But I never studied something I was into.
Oh, that's rough.
Yeah.
What did you study?
I started off... I wanted to go to Box Hill
Yeah, okay.
to, write music and that sort of thing. I also wanted to go to School of Audio Engineering in St Kilda, but they wouldn't pay for that because it was an upfront fee, and so they just no, because you're lazy,
Yep.
and you're just going to fail. The Box Hill one wasn't. That was just a TAFE,
Yeah.
and they thought that was beneath the family that
Oh,
I'd be
sure,
doing something
yeah,
like
yeah,
that.
yeah.
So they decided I was going to study classical guitar.
Okay.
Yeah.
Classical guitar.
Classical
okay.
guitar, and I had to sit there and practice, and I left year 11 halfway through because they were trying to get me into economics and accounting to follow on with my grandfather's business
Yeah, okay.
of stationery.
That's my best friend. Her granddad is a stationery man.
Yeah. Good. It was a wonderful idea.
Yeah.
Great idea.
Yeah.
But I was failing everything by halfway through the year.
You're just miserable.
It was awful, and I don't have the head for it. And I'm since doing the whole tests.
Yeah.
I absolutely don't have the brain for maths.
No wonder,
Oh my god! So I took 6 months 6 months off and started year 11 at a new school where I met Jen.
Yeah.
And basically studied classical and theory for 6 months. That's all I did.
Yeah.
And so I got really good really quick, even though I wasn't into it.
Yeah.
And got into, called it the conservatorium.
Oh.
Yeah.
Wow, okay.
Yeah, because that's where they thought it was that's what a respectable person does, to go into the conservatorium and learn. And I lasted a year.
Yeah.
And, I hated it. I love interacting with the musicians, and I still know a few of them. And I would sit there and jam. You didn't get to watch the movie that was about a music school. Like, it's too old, but sitting just in the foyer, all these people singing and jamming and stuff, was just, it was so much fun, But then I had to study classical music, and it was awful. And there was no job at the end of it.
No.
I couldn't teach in the school. No, that wasn't part of it.
You just know it.
4 years of studying, and only 3 people in the country were making a living out of doing that.
Oh my gosh.
So I finally took a stand for myself and left.
Yep.
And then told my parents, who were just, particularly my mother, was just mortified that she now has to tell everyone that I've again failed. But they set me up to fail.
Yeah,
completely set me up to do something I wasn't into. I hated it. So then I was forced to work a lot at home and find some other thing, and that's how I got into disabilities, which was I went back to my old high school actually and talked to the careers person there. And that was just enough for them to say what are you good at, all that sort of stuff. And they thought, well, you should go and do some volunteering at these sort of places. And I was really good at it.
Yeah.
So I did do a course, like a certificate for that, and that was good. I enjoyed that, but then I wasn't getting paid.
Yeah.
Back then
rough,
it was terrible. So I went and studied IT.
Okay.
I literally said, what's the opposite of that?
IT. Yep.
IT.
Yep.
Hated it. Struggled, but got through.
Yep.
And did it for 20 years.
Yep. My dad does some sort of IT as well.
And hated every single second of it.
Yeah.
Not a good thing, which is, it's while, I'm talking to you about you doing what you're going through, doing something you're totally into, and you don't have to struggle to learn and to spend your time doing. It's so important to do that if you can.
Yes.
To keep doing that. But also, it's really important, like we were talking about before, about diversifying what you do, diversifying your skill sets. So when you start talking about that stuff, you need to start learning how to record.
Yeah.
You need to start practicing doing that.
Yeah.
Even doing your own sort of podcast kind of thing where you talk to people about stories.
Yeah.
And that kind of stuff. That's the sort of thing that you'll pick up that skill that's fun to do. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And what else would you do? So even in film, that sort of stuff.
Yeah, I used to when I was younger, we'd do stuff with Barbies, and I'd always film it and make sure the sets were right.
Yeah.
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 I really liked the control.
Yeah, well that's it.
Yeah.
So that sounds like that's what you need to do then, expand out and start, even if you go and just hang out. I've done that in the past. I've literally just gone, can I come and hang out and watch what you do?
Yeah.
And you can learn so much by doing that, just volunteering a bit of your time, or just literally hanging out. That's a good thing to do.
Yeah, I'll definitely look into it, yeah.
God, how many years? So you got 1 year left?
Yep.
So are you going to do any more study after that?
No.
No,
I
not.
No, I haven't had I went straight from year 12 into uni, which was the dumbest thing for anyone. Do not do that.
I know.
I'm still burnt out from year 12. Have a break, guys.
I know.
You don't need to.
It depends on the situation at home too. There was no way I was going to be allowed to do that.
Yeah, I understand there's a lot of pressure from your parents and stuff, but if you can, please take a break.
Yeah.
Please take a break.
And even with the year 12s and stuff, you can break it up, can't you? You can just sort of do, maybe instead of, I know at uni more, you can do it in 2 years instead of 1 year.
You can definitely do it part-time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I think the fact that you can do... Are you doing anything online or is it all attendance?
It's pretty much all attendance, but
Okay.
the lectures are online. So
Lectures are online
Yeah.
and they're recorded?
yeah, they're recorded. Yeah.
Because that was a big problem for me, is that like I'm trying to write down notes.
Yeah. But
And,
we've got
you know.
captions and you can pause.
Oh
it.
my
It's
God.
Yes, this is what we needed. Yeah.
I love that stuff.
Yeah.
I'm finding at work with getting these transcriptions, allowing transcriptions, so I can use that for helping do minutes and look at summaries and that kind of stuff. You know, it's so good. We haven't got
Yes.
into AI. It's not, because
Yeah.
it's a big but I love AI. I love some of the stuff, particularly in music.
Yeah.
I was talking to someone when I was at the round doing the event, and they were doing the audio stuff, and they were totally against it, you know. And I get it, but also
It's kind of hard not to enjoy
Oh
it
my
a little
God.
bit. Yeah.
there's a Beach Boys song or an album that I adore, and a lot of the real fans love it, but it is weird.
Is it the animal one?
No, Pet Sounds. No,
Yeah,
that's
okay.
that's the one that everyone loves, because it's
Okay,
just
yeah.
it's nice to listen to.
Yeah.
But then it's like later on, he was essentially a former bipolar. Like he was struggling big time, and so he sort of backed off from the whole thing, and they'd have to drag him to come out and
Wow.
record or
Yeah.
take apart or write or anything like that. But at this point, he was getting a bit better. he got a synthesizer, one of the early synthesizers with the
Yeah.
early sort of boom, boom,
Yeah,
sort of stuff, all that
yeah.
kind of stuff, and made this extraordinary, I think it's a masterpiece of an album. But it's weird.
Yeah.
And he wrote the lyrics, which he normally doesn't, and he's talking about roller skating and
Love.
what do the planets mean, and it's like childish.
Yeah.
But because he's an amazing songwriter, there's this depth and that's underneath it.
Mm.
But as far as the production, it's just mostly the synths and
Yes,
dung, dung, that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
AI, some guys used AI to recreate those songs from a Pet Sounds era. Beach
Oh,
Boys.
that's cool.
And brought it into a whole different sound,
Yeah.
production. Oh
That's
my
really
God,
cool.
that's awesome.
Yeah.
You know, I don't know if you getting into the stuff like with the Beatles, and now they've discovered how they can isolate
Yes.
tracks and
yeah.
sounds. Oh my God. And
Super useful.
it's super useful for a player, like a bass player too,
Yeah.
because you can then isolate the bass and just listen to that,
Yep.
you know, because that makes it very difficult, but they can do all that stuff now. I can't wait.
Yeah.
I cannot wait. Oh my God. Early recordings and that sort of stuff.
Yeah,
Old 78s,
super.
crackly things. They can
Yeah.
take out the crackle.
Oh yeah, I didn't even
know?
think of that. Yeah.
I just said I wasn't going to talk about it. Future Dan here. Look, the conversation kept going and going, but we can't have a podcast that goes on forever. But I did want to just point out that there was a great little discussion we had at the end where I was talking about how I feel like a failure.
I think you gain more by, like, taking in more than one perspective.
Yep.
Like, especially with history, it's like you could learn like all about World War II,
Yes. Yeah.
but
yeah.
you have no idea about everything else that has happened. And
That's right.
Like,
That's true.
it's hard because you feel like you're not like good enough to say that you
to talk about it. Or talk
yes,
about dates.
exactly,
Yep.
exactly.
Yep.
But it's like,
Yep.
well, you actually don't have to, and I find the people who do just focus on one thing, it's like they're very hard to talk to because they're very set in their ways and they're not very open to learning
Yes,
different things. And
that's
it's like,
true.
And it's like,
Yeah.
well, why would you limit yourself when you could open your world to
Yeah.
all these different perspectives?
That's
like,
so true. You do it this way. Or no, that's exactly
Yeah.
that's how it was done.
I think I value like different perspectives above all else, regardless of whether I like believe in them or not. It's like I think there's so much value in learning about other people and what stuff I'm not interested in, because it's like, well, I'm not going to know if I like it if I don't know about it.
Yeah,
sort of thing.
exactly. That's
Yeah.
true. But even from your skill sets, you'll be able to make connections with things that
Oh,
they
yeah.
wouldn't be able to.
Absolutely. Like
You know.
I've got very, very good pattern recognition. So
Yeah,
I can
yeah, yeah.
I can like.
Oh my God, you're going to love Blind Boy so much.
Yes, I can connect to things very, very well.
Yeah.
Whereas someone may only just be able to like identify one thing.
You're going to love him so much. He should be paying me.
Yeah.
But that's exactly what he does. He hyperfixates on something for a week.
Yeah.
But then finds these unbelievable connections with things that completely seem unrelated. You know.
Yeah. But they're not.
Oh my God. Yeah. You know, it's extraordinary stuff that he does. But and because he goes off all over the place. It's true. He's got such a useful brain. That is picking up things, which I'm talking about with him looking at like science, ecology, and these old myths. Yeah. That no one he talks to has ever made that connection or even thought to look at that. They think it's all new. Yep. But no, it was stories passed on, and they knew it for a long time. Yep. It doesn't mean they were ancient. It was an ancient wisdom. It was just our brains haven't changed. Yes. You know, we've always been as smart as we are. Yeah. You know. Truly. Like, looking back on, like, the letters from kings to kings, it's like, oh, they were just as petty as us. Yeah. Like, nothing has changed. No. Yeah. No, absolutely nothing at all. And autistics have always been here. Yes. Going right back. And that's something I'm mentioning a lot now. Yep. On this, on Facebook, or wherever else. Yep. Saying, what a load of nonsense. We've always been here. Always. The only reason we're here and we've innovated and we've got where we are is because of neurodivergent heads. Because otherwise, you bloody bunch would just be floundering around, still swinging in the trees. It'd also be boring. It'd be so boring. Yeah, it would. Yeah, it is. But we're stuck with dealing with these systems, these cultural setups that are just so. They're just not meant for us. No. But we've still got to deal with them. Yeah, but we shouldn't have to. No. No. I'm talking about to say because we're better. No. No, it's not. But it's useful. Yeah. It's useful to allow neurodivergent people into the mix to provide their flavour as well. Absolutely. And that's at the moment, it's being eradicated, particularly in America and over here as well. It's literally being eradicated. Yeah. It's an extraordinary thing. It's not going to last, but yeah. Yeah, it's interesting to see. Well, that was a really good conversation. Yes. I don't know if we covered everything you wanted to cover. I think we did. I think we did. Yeah, I think we absolutely did. I'm like 90% sure I haven't introduced myself, though. No, I never do that. Oh, okay. I never do that. I just go straight into it. Okay. Well, I hope you enjoyed that chat, everyone. And that's it for this episode, other than to play you a song that I actually played on the live event to try and make sure that if some of the people I was talking to were talking too long, I was able to play a song to tell them to get off the stage and bugger off. So enjoy. So the time is now fading, it's time to wrap it up. Your monologue's been engaging, but I must now interrupt. Time to take a breath, and please don't overstay. The mic is tied, and so am I, so let us not delay. Bugger off, thank you for your time. Bugger off, thank you for your time. Get out now, time to sit right down.